Welcome back to Dabbling Dads with your host Kyle and Tyler, here to dabble into just about anything. You can find us everywhere using the hashtag Dabbling Dads. Thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed.
What's up, man?
What's up, dude? Been a minute since we've been here to actually just sit down and talk with really no plan. Honestly, right. With your surgery and different things, the vacation, just us being busy, this is the first time we've actually got to just sit down and not do it, either just dabbling or
the video game we already had.
Or the video game we had, and then I went and did the Whiskey Bros. So
yeah,
glad we're here. Obviously, we're sort of in a time crunch today. We both got kids to get in school, and it's Friday. We're recording this on a Friday, so it's just one of those days. We're gonna try to get one in here though, and
we try to stay committed, dude, to that Saturday morning.
Yeah,
you can't start missing. You know, we just believe you can't start missing. But another thing, hit the subscribe button at Dabbling Dads. You can type Dabbling Dads in on Google if you want. It'll bring up whatever YouTube first, I think. But down at the bottom, or at least remember, always click in the overview, dabble on your own time. It might put it at the bottom of the video, but you can definitely click on it and it'll take you to that part of the video. We do that just so you can listen to what you want to listen to.
Yeah, so also on our Twitter, if you really want just, I wouldn't say dabbling dad content, but if you just like random sports, wrestling, science fiction, movies, books,
other podcasts,
podcasts. Follow us on Twitter. Tyler does a good job of being like very active on there. So Twitter is really the place to find us and where we have our most interaction and followers probably. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're listening, you don't watch us on YouTube, go to YouTube, hit subscribe.
That's right.
Yeah, it gives us reason to just keep doing it. So
that's right. It keeps the wives at bay, so we can continue to record and have fun and chill. And we took the table away.
Yeah, no table. I like this. We sort of have an idea of what hopefully we're going to move from where we're sitting right now, just right over here, still in the, what's about to become the, what does Raimi call his, ours is going to be.
He calls it the cooler.
Ours is going to be the true cooler here soon when it gets cold.
Yes, and he wanted to call it the ice box, and I was in there. I haven't been in his, our friend, he does like a Twitch, and he does a lot of talking, but he plays random games.
Yeah.
It's Juice Box 6, y'all, I think is the name of it. We've said it one other time. But man, when I was in there that time, we went called the ice box. I said, because he said juice boxes, that's what you have as a kid, you drink on it. And I was like, dude, but you got to bring it to the field in a cooler.
Yeah, because he was talking about having orange slices and juice boxes after sports games. Yeah, the cooler. Yeah. This is going to go from the hot box to the cooler probably pretty quick here in Tennessee. But it'll be comfortable for about a month and a half in here. It'll be great. We need to just bust them out that month so we're not miserable in here.
Yeah, or we know a heater isn't in like a fan loudness though either, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. We could probably get a space heater in here and
shut the garage. Because we're in the garage.
Yeah, literally. in the garage, yeah. But we're about to change things up. We've had sort of a couple ideas like as far as like setting up a mobile set where we can record this anywhere, and that would help a lot, especially if we could record it somewhere with air conditioning or heat. But anyways, we just wanted to get on here and just talk about a little bit of everything, I think. Obviously our main you've switched lanes in this. My main podcast still is Joe Rogan Experience. Probably always will be. You've sort of started listening to some of the people you've started interacting with on Twitter. I don't know if you want to shout some of them out right at the beginning.
I do. I'll do it right at the beginning just so we can go I created like a group, but like Dads on Dayquil, they're like a comedy conversation podcast a lot like us. Two Dads Review. They review like Star Trek. I don't even know here's I'm not a Star Trek person.
Yeah, my dad is big time.
So maybe you should send it to your dad. Like Two Dads Review, they do all the new Star Treks. They did The Mandalorian. I went back and listened to their recap of
the whole season.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
All of it. And so they got things that are interesting on there. Dads Worldwide. And these are just dad groups, so I'm gonna shout them out. Sean and Chris from Dad in the Rock. They love Star Wars, pop culture, just a lot about what we talk about. But there is one I do want to bring this up because I embarrassed myself on the video game one, or some of them, about I mixed up Magic and Warcraft.
World of Warcraft and Magic the Gathering.
Yeah. So now I've already embarrassed myself again leading up to this because there's a one in our group. It's called Dads and Dragons, and they play Dungeons, or I guess
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's the game that they're playing on
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things,
yes.
right? Yeah. So the episode I listened to is what they believed. It's not like written down anywhere, but they believed there were 8 types of characters. And when I was listening to Joe Rogan and thinking we didn't have enough content for this, I was taking notes on everything. I should have been taking notes on this. But there's people who just sit there. There's people who want to be the flamboyant person.
Yeah.
And like when you're the game writer, I guess, you have to think of all of these things.
Yeah, so man, I wish I knew what they actually call it. I worked with a guy. He doesn't probably listen to this because I haven't talked to him in years, but he was Bosnian. His name was Miodrag was his name. Called him Miles is what he went by. He was my age, huge guy. This dude was like 6'5", big old guy. But he played, and they call it something. And I hate, we just don't know it. Like,
and we just don't research
it's like pen and paper or something. But like literally, like he's writing this game and story out, and everyone's interacting with the story and I guess adventure or whatever you want to call it that is going on.
It's like how you beat the game.
Correct. He's controlling it all. He is orchestrating everything that's going on. The movie Onward, which is the newest Pixar movie, that's Kaysen's newest obsession, and I've of course had to watch it multiple times here recently. And the oldest brother is into a game that is pretty much done. He lives it.
It's like a tabletop role playing game.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah. See, because I listened and I didn't write down, but right here, he says right here he's making a new character sheet or whatever. But it's called Dads and Dragons, and it's like, man, maybe now in my older creative days. It's like, dude, that could be something that you could play with a big group of people instead of Cards Against Humanity or something that might actually be better.
That's true. And we've never played it, so we just don't know.
I know. Yeah, I need to message in there or something and get them to help us. And
give us a starter pack of a way we could play.
6 characters, our usual pack. Tyler, we talk about him a lot.
So to give you an example, my buddy, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. But to give you an example, he... They would go to these Comic-Cons and stuff and dress as their characters that they were in their group. So they had an ongoing, oh my goodness, it's gone on for a long time, this game of Dungeons and Dragons that they were playing. I wish I could remember what he called it. I'm going to find him. Yeah, here he is right here. I'm going to drag. So they would dress up. He was like a Rastafarian Wookiee was his character, and he got a whole suit made.
A whole suit made?
I gotta find it. He has it where they would dress up and go to these Comic-Cons and dress up as the characters they played as while they played. Here we go.
Wow.
That's him. Big old Bosnian guy.
That is incredible. Yeah. You might have to. I don't know if we can send that. I don't know if we need to ask him. But
I won't post his picture, but I'll send it in his message. I hadn't talked to him in years, but I'll send it to him and just tell him we talked about him on here. He's the one that told me about Ready Player One before it was ever a movie. He was the one telling me you gotta read this book. You gotta read this book. So, and that's where it all started with my books. I don't know if we want to talk about what we've been doing. I was going to talk about podcasts for a minute.
No, let me finish this list. It might take us
you're still saying...
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's something that I thought was interesting, and maybe we could get a game already created and just try it out, because it seemed like it was interesting if you have different personalities. I said dads on Dayquil already. They're comedy funny. From lads to dads, they just kind of talk about their parenting experience. Virgin on Stupid's kind of the same thing. The Half-Life of Brian. This is a unique podcast that I've been listening to as well. And this kid, he's not a kid, I think he's my age, but his dad kept a diary. And each episode, I'm in the middle of the first one I'm listening to right now, but the concept of it's amazing me. Because, I wanted to do my dad and get the decades and the big things that happened, the first time he ever saw TV. Yeah. So he has a diary. And they go through the year, and the son brings up big events that happened. They were talking about Kim Jong-un's granddad in the Korean War and stuff, because they were just bringing up things that happened. But he has the diary, and he reads out a diary entry. And then they kind of talk about it and go through the year.
So it's sort of like Jocko Willink does with when he has soldiers and stuff on there. A lot of the people he has on there are authors and have written books, and he'll read passages out of their book, and then boom, let the vet come in and tell the backstory or more story to what he's talking about. It's incredible. You've probably never watched a lot of Jocko Willink, but
no.
Oh, dude, Vietnam badass.
I know he's bad. I listen to him when he's
badass Vietnam Special Forces dudes, bad dudes, but also Iraq War.
Not that those dudes aren't bad, but you know what I mean. These people were
like these were original SEALs. Like when the SEALs were created, these guys were like the first ones coming through the brutalness of being a Navy SEAL. Like they're crazy, dude. It's really good. But anyways, got to keep. I want you to at least say all their names once.
Yeah. And then a new one is Top Dad Podcast. They just have 3 or 4, but they're funny too. But the other one, which I thought was interesting, which is right in our kind of wheelhouse, they're called Bad Dads Film Review. And what they do is they watch a movie, and then they watch a kid's TV show. And then they review both of them on the same show. So, but I try to look through there and, see what kid shows that I could find in there. And, I was thinking maybe Rugrats and stuff like that, but it could be any movie.
Well, I've got all the streaming services, so we could probably... I'd hate to steal y'all's bit if you listen to this, but we could pull a segment and do something very similar to that and just keep it short and sweet.
Do a review of something.
Yeah.
And then, of course, our pals, the Whiskey Bros. I'm trying to get them into the Twitter world. Because it's a good community of podcasts and things like that. Yeah. But yeah, man, so it's been interesting. So I've been listening to a lot of that, just doing reviews and stuff. But, and then now football's back. We got the Titans flag up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Tighten up.
Yeah, started last night. Chiefs are good again.
Yeah, and I texted you even afterwards after I didn't see the score yet, and it's like, you got to score 40 to beat the Chiefs this year.
Yeah. So right here off the bat, we said we're going to do this, and I just want to go ahead and do it. You've said it's football season. Let's go ahead and do it. I hope you're ready, because I am. Do we want to do just the Monday night game, or do we want to go ahead and say what we think the Titans' record is going to be? So I talked to our buddy Gavin today for a good bit, because he called me about his Tennessee tickets, his Vols tickets. And, man, so they are going to give all season ticket holders 5 tickets, or 5 games.
Titans games we're talking about.
This is Vols. Tennessee Vols. We're just college football I'm talking about right now.
Talking about the Vols.
University of Tennessee, yeah. One of our friends is season ticket holder, but his seat now is going to be up top.
So are we talking Vols for a minute schedule or Titans schedule?
I'm talking just Vols for a minute. I'm just telling you what's going on.
I'm just need to know what I need to look up, the Titans schedule, full schedule for myself.
We're gonna I'm not doing college football hasn't started yet, so I'm not talking college football yet. I'm just telling you what's going on with the tickets. Yeah, we're just talking Titans. But God, I lost my train of thought.
You said they gave 5 tickets to season ticket holders and some guy sitting way up top that Gavin knows.
No. No.
Tennessee Balls, they're giving 5 tickets.
No matter how many tickets you had, I think they only give you 4 tickets to each game, but Gavin's having to sit up top if he wants to keep his tickets. But they gave him 3 options. You can either donate the money that you were going to spend on your tickets to the university, and they're going to give you 500 extra points, I think is what he called them, which go towards if the Vols go to the SEC championship, if you got so many people with the most points get first dibs on tickets type shit. So you can either give your tickets back and or not give your tickets back, not go, give your money to the university and gain a bunch of points to jump up the list, or them just give you your money back, or you can go and you get to go to 5 games. But no matter how many seats you had, 4 was the max they gave people. I think Gavin has 2. So
do you get to pick the 5 games?
See, I don't know. He didn't say that. I told him I wouldn't do it. Once he showed me his seats, he's 6 rows from the top of the Neyland Stadium. And he went from great seats, really good seats. So, Gavin, I know he's the most diehard Tennessee fan I know. He could probably name every player on the team.
He drives up there.
Yeah, he could probably name every player on the team. But if he's not going, I don't see a lot of people going. But the diehards will be there, I think. And even at 20% capacity in Neyland, that's a decent amount of people.
Yeah, that's about 20,000.
So I just thought you'd find that interesting on what's going on with college football, how they're doing the tickets and whatnot. But
yeah, the Gators, they're doing 20,000 as well, or 25% capacity, or 20% capacity, kind of the same deal. It sounds like, but I think they're doing it to the big dollar people first. So
yeah,
and then
Gavin gets his tickets through the Solon, so they are up in the booster
realm for sure.
Yeah,
so then they are selling almost promo type tickets. You get to be in the same room, or you watch the game with
Florida Legends. like Tim Tebow and that type of shit.
People are like, like that. Or it might even be like a Zoom call or something, or you hear him talking during the game or whatever about the game, like Spurrier and all those people. I like to hear him just hate on them.
Yeah.
But the Tennessee-Florida game at the end of the year,
it's gonna be a fun one.
It ain't, because I feel like they got this horrible feeling you're gonna run our season, man.
Hopefully it's just gonna be a nice cherry on top of our season. But anyways, back to pro football. So pro football started last night.
Titans.
Chiefs beat the piss out of the Texans. Texans are in the last place of the entire league right now.
Yes.
Had to let that be said.
Also in the last place of the AFC South. And we think that we're going to do a little segment where we just pick the AFC South.
Yeah. Well, right now I just sort of want to...
I'm talking about just the games this week, man.
Well, we don't have them pulled up.
I have the games.
You got all the games of the AFC South pulled up right now?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Perfect.
I came prepared, man.
Oh, sweet. Perfect.
So we got the Colts.
Well, I want to start off with the Titans.
Okay.
I just want to say what I believe their overall record will be, because it might change over time once I see how they play. So, talking to Gavin today, he thinks it's going to be another 9-7 season for the Titans, and I really don't. Like, I think the Titans... I told him at least 10 wins, minimum. But my preseason guess is that the Titans win 12 games and lose 4 of them. That's my guess.
Whew. I'm looking here. One.
I've already looked at our...
3, 4, 5-ish, 6-ish, 7, 8. If the over-under set at 7.5, I'll be taking the over all day. I wish I knew what the over-under was for wins on season. I think they're going to go 10-6. I think that's good enough to win the division as well. So I think they're going to be 10-6 and win the division, or they'll be the wild card. If the Colts can play good this year with Phillip Rivers, which I don't think so. We all hate Phillip Rivers. But they could tie us, but they'll be the wild card probably, unless the Steelers.
After seeing the Texans last night, the one team I was worried about play football.
Why are you worried about them?
I mean, now they've lost their best wide receiver, and they've got their quarterback is fucking dangerous. I thought he was. I mean,
he had DeAndre Hopkins.
I'm not worried about the Colts or the Jaguars, but
I don't think the Titans.
Neither of those teams match up well with us anymore.
Yeah, I counted them. I counted all those. I did left the Colts out of my guaranteed wins, man. So that's why I said 8 guaranteed. But I think they're gonna go 10-6.
Well,
they got a tough schedule.
I'm a homer, guys. I'm gonna pick the Titans every time. So mine is a generous guess. I told Gavin I got it right here.
There's
10
some tough
wins.
games.
10 wins is what I said initially, but a season that would just be that I think has been coming for a long time would be about a 12-win season, and the Titans win the division, no question.
How could it happen?
Go to the back. You have a week to freaking not play in the playoffs.
They need Derrick Henry to stay healthy.
I think he's going to, man.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah, he don't take too many hard hits, dude. He's the one laying the hits, and you don't get near as hurt when you're laying the hits.
So as I'm looking through there, you got the 4 losses. The Ravens, one of them, I'm sure.
I guess beating the Ravens, man.
And who do you have losing? The Steelers? The Vikings?
Steelers always close. Vikings is...
You must have us losing Monday night.
I think we may lose Monday night.
I don't know. Derek.
Well, I forgot. Well, I forgot about the Broncos roster, really. I'd have to look back at who I'd have to look back who I said. I might have had us losing to the Colts one time.
Packers.
Packers are always iffy, man. Hard to pick against them. We beat their ass, though, last time we played them. Bad.
Titans?
The Titans in the
got
regular
tough schedule
season.
in the first 5 games.
I know that, and everyone always thinks that about the Titans. Then we beat these, like the Patriots come down. Oh, we're going to get our ass whooped today. We beat the piss out of them.
That's true.
Regular season, Chiefs, beat them. It was the last play of the game, beat them, but beat them. The 3 years before that, beat them.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the Titans win the games in the regular season. This is the 5th year in a row they've gone 9-7. At least a winning season. I think it's the 5th season in a row. They went 5 winning seasons in a row. So it's time for them to take a hold of it and actually...
Yeah, you're hoping last year wasn't that case, but I think this year they're better.
I think last year they got hot earlier than anyone thought they would. Tannehill was a pleasant surprise to everybody, I believe.
Yeah, and I think now he has some high expectations on him, but he's a good athlete. He can throw the ball. So
I'd take 12-4 since
that's pretty good. Now I'm thinking, now you're going to talk me into 11-5. I feel like.
We'll see. Baltimore's a hard game, man. I think we'll beat the shit out of Pittsburgh, personally. Ben Roethlisberger is on the downhill slope.
You know he got surgery, though. They fixed his elbow, and he said, "This is the best and greatest I've ever felt I could throw at a ball time."
Of course he's saying that. Best thing that can happen there is Josh Dobbs become the starting quarterback.
Oh, man.
I love Josh Dobbs.
I like Josh Dobbs.
Anyways,
That's when I like the balls.
So you just want to say the game, and I'm going to say
And
winner.
I'm going to pick them, too.
Yeah, we'll go at the same time. You say it. I'll say mine. You say yours. We'll move on to the next one. All right?
All right, Colts at Jags.
Colts.
Colts for me, too. So we'll go Colts. Titans at Broncos.
Titans.
I like the Titans, too, man. And then, obviously, the Texans at the Chiefs. I bet we both would have taken the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So we're on the same page so far.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep up with that just as the season goes, because those are the games that we'll really care about. And then we'll pick the Tennessee and the Florida game every week as well.
Yeah, once they start playing. They don't play this weekend.
Speaking of that, I'm starting to love, I think I love the 10 SEC schedule.
Just play it like that every time, and then the winners of the conferences come out and play in the bowl games. And
Those other games are pointless. I mean, I know they're making money for those other schools and whatnot, and that's good for them.
yeah.
But I think the SEC was kind of prepared.
Then they should have 2 preseason games now and just play 2 shit schools in the preseason, and then you play your conference the rest of the season.
Yeah, quit putting them in the middle.
Yeah.
Quit putting them in the middle. I think that's something that could happen.
It would change the game completely.
So, obviously, I like it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's competitive. I would watch it even
Every
more
weekend is going to be must-watch football for sure.
around this area for
Yeah,
sure. If the
yeah.
Big Ten did it too, it would be kind of the same. You know,
Is the Big Ten going to play football?
I'm talking about if they move to this model.
Yeah.
I think there's talks. But I love that part of the SEC because, you know, every week's going to be pretty decent. And I don't think there's any bye weeks now in between. I might be wrong on that. There might be one bye week that they're getting in those 10 weeks.
Not sure, to be honest with you.
But what would be, so it's obvious for me, if you could have one out-of-conference game that wasn't a gimme, obviously we would play Florida State.
Yep.
Who would be Tennessee State?
I would like to play Memphis. I know that sounds crazy, but that was an old rivalry, and we don't play them anymore because there was real tension between the ADs at the 2 schools. The basketball rivalry is coming back, which is great. I would like to see them, or I don't really know.
There's not one, is there?
No, probably Memphis, man.
That's a good choice
Yeah.
because in my head,
It'd be a big draw. It would be a good in-state draw.
It's kind of like the East versus the
If
West.
we were going to play 2 teams, like we did 2 preseason games, it would be awesome to play MTSU first game of the year, Memphis second game of the year, all conference games.
Yeah, we could do that. Play somebody easy. It doesn't matter. Play Florida State now instead of the last game. Play them just before the
Yeah.
SEC actually starts. I don't know, because you could just pick your best rival that wasn't in your division and just be like, oh, we're going to play a cake team, get them some money.
Yeah.
Then we're going to play this. Then it's pure conference,
Second
fellas.
game of the year needs to be rivalry week.
Rivalry week
Yeah.
now. And then, now it's conference play.
Yeah.
And start pushing.
That way you get that rivalry game out of the way. It doesn't. I guess it doesn't mean as much in week 2, but it really would gear up everybody for the season, I think, to go into the conference play. It would be pretty cool. I don't know what they're going to do. It's going to look different.
You know everyone's
Regardless.
not losing eligibility.
Yeah. I should have called. You know what I should have just done is just when I was talking about the tickets earlier with Gavin, I should have just called Gavin on speakerphone and let him tell me what Tennessee told him because he's the ticket holder and could have given us.
Yeah, we
really
could have
what's
our
going
first
on.
call.
Yeah, that's what I should have done. Oh well. Yeah. So I don't know. Sports are going to look different. The Braves have been looking.
Is Freddie Freeman, does he still have his hit streak going?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What is it, like 20-something games?
He was at.
He was at like.
He's got to be
18.
like right at 20, I think.
The Braves.
somewhere
What was the
close to
final
that.
score in that game? I saw you sharing it,
29
but I never
to
saw
9.
29-9.
So they broke their record, single game score record. I think the MLB record is 30, so they were 1 away from tying the all-time points or runs scored in a game. Adam Duvall hit 3 home runs. His 3rd home run was a grand slam in the same game. They're just going off. He had 9 RBIs in 1 game.
That's unbelievable, man.
Yeah.
It always pops up because we share the Hulu, so it pops up on my phone when the Braves are playing, when Nashville FC are
God,
playing.
if you want to watch baseball where people are hitting the ball out of the ballpark and you don't got nothing else to do at home, turn on that Braves game every once in a while to see fun baseball. When they're at bat, watch it because someone's going to hit the ball into play.
And they're
make things
athletic,
happen.
and they can run.
They're young as shit, dude. They're going to be good for a long time. Thank God. So I just hope they win World Series this time. So they were good my entire childhood, like the best team, America's team,
Yeah.
pretty much. The
Andy
Yankees, I
Jones.
guess, but They were the South's team. The Braves were, and they won. I can't remember how many freaking division titles in a row. They won the pennant, like
it was in the double digits. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I can't remember how many.
12 to 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 in a row right there, and won the World Series one time. So I would rather win World Series than just pennants, personally. But I'd at least like to get there, dude. I don't care if my team loses. I know everybody's like, if your team wins this year, you're going to have an asterisk. I'll take that asterisk for the rest of my life, dude. I do not care. To get to watch my team win a championship on television, which I've only got to do one time when I was 8 years old, be incredible. I'd probably cry. I was thinking about that today. I think I'd probably shed a tear if the Titans won a Super Bowl. Probably would.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's on my bucket list. I would love to go to a World Series game, an NBA championship game.
I'd either like to go to a game 1 of the World Series to feel that buzz, or like if Atlanta was in it and we could just spend the money and go to like a game 5 or 6 in Atlanta. Oh, that'd be heaven to me. Yeah. That's my realm, dude. Like big moment sports events are my thing, dude. I love it. Gets my freaking juices flowing. I love it. Yeah, I get out of control just about every time.
I like just watching the best compete.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's it, dude. The NBA, a lot of people are down on it, but it is some of the best basketball I've ever seen in my life. Literally, it's like the best AAU tournament you've ever watched in your entire life, and they are playing out of their mind, dude.
It like puts the I forget what it's called, the big tournament or whatever, where all them old people play. It's like puts that to shame. No one's in the crowd in those games.
Where the winner of the tournament gets $1 million.
Yeah,
all the old players. Oh God, not a single team put together in that league would beat the worst team in the NBA. So.
I know, but it's kind of the same feel when you're watching it.
It is the same type feel, but it's fun. I love it, to be honest with you. I've never been to an NBA game, so I don't care if there's fans back or not. I've never even been. So
I've only been to one NBA game. It was at Grizzlies versus the Mavericks when they had Sean Bradley.
Oh, nice.
One of the tallest humans I've ever seen.
The Grizzlies have just gotten here. Shane Battier Grizzlies. You saw, early Grizzlies.
Like the black jerseys with the green.
It's like the green and red and black. Or what was that? Was it green? It was like an aqua. and ugly. Yes, I hated those jerseys.
But my dad's friend got like incredible tickets. We were sitting behind the Grizzlies bench. I was in the same row as Mark Cuban. I literally got to see him standing up. It was the first time I really realized. Your dad
already know who he was and everything?
Yeah.
I guess you probably did too.
Yeah, and it was, they had Sean Bradley. I don't remember. And Steve Nash still played for them during that time too.
Sean Bradley was still on the team? You sure you're not thinking it's Dirk?
It wasn't Dirk. It was Sean Bradley, dude. Yeah. 7'1". He didn't play very much. He was just the biggest human.
Do you know Taco Fall was 7'7"?
Yeah, I knew he was up there.
I did not realize he was that tall.
He doesn't even have to jump to dunk. It's like on a tight.
I did not realize he was that tall until yesterday, man. And I saw something that said he was 7'7", and I'm just like, surely to God he's in Space Jam too. He's got to be. He's an alien. He's got to be in Space Jam too.
He is huge, and he's so skinny. It's just like goodness. Yeah. If you've never seen, and just speaking of tall people, Minute Bowl. If you've never watched him hit the threes in the game, it is crazy when he hits like 10 in a row.
Yes.
You don't have to pull it
up.
That's
the only thing. I wish we had the one thing. I'm going to shout out the Whiskey Bros, but I know you said their name earlier. I'm going to shout them out one more time. And if you're listening to this, TJ, you've got to do this. I think you should do a video recording of your setup because it's really nice for what you are doing. I mean, it's really nice, but I wish we had the computer here so I could just boop, 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 boop. If we were live, we would have to have a computer and I could pop up the YouTube video probably pretty quickly and show it right down here in the corner. But it's an incredible highlight video. There's another video of Bol, his son, who is now in the NBA, talking about him seeing that highlight for the first time. It's pretty funny, pretty cool.
His shot looks a lot better than his dad's.
It's
like
No, his dad used his money and got him with people that taught him how to play the game correctly. You know, he was taught how to play like on Kevin Bacon movie, The Air Up There.
Yes,
very obscure '90s basketball movie.
The Air Up There. Who else we got? Sorry, man, we gotta look.
Yeah, it was Kevin Bacon.
I need to get the IMD app now that I got my new phone.
I got you right here. Tell me what you remember about that movie.
I think I'm getting confused with White Man Can't Jump right now.
You probably are.
But I remember he goes out to Africa.
No, that's The Air Up There. It's Kevin Bacon. So I'm going to read it. Jimmy Dolan is a college basketball coach who wants a big promotion. To get it, he needs to make a dramatic find. He ends up deep in Africa hoping to recruit Saleh, a huge basketball prodigy Jimmy glimpsed in a home movie, but Saleh is the chief's son and has responsibilities at home since the tribe's land is threatened by a mining company with its own hotshot basketball team.
Yeah, there's already a team there or something, and it's like keeping them afloat. He's coming, he's trying to recruit him, but he's like the chief's son. There is a court,
So
though.
Kevin Bacon is literally the only famous person in that entire movie.
Really?
The guy that played the basketball player's name was Charles Gitonga Mena.
Wow.
And he was only on The Air Up There and then Sequest, which was a television show.
That's crazy. Kevin Bacon. What year did that movie come out? Had to be 90s.
Make a guess.
1993.
1994. Why is everything in 94 was that year, dude? If you're asked a movie from the 90s, guess 94. It's probably close to the right freaking answer.
Yes, that's crazy, man. So, sports.
But yeah, sports are back. We're obviously excited about it.
We're not watching the hockey
because I'm
I'm pretty.
Everything. Preds got knocked out first round.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure the team that, for Pred fans, we have to hate. I think everyone fucking hates them. The Knights. I think they're in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Lightning.
I don't even have a clue. I haven't kept up.
Or it might be the Stars. I think the Stars and the Knights are either in Game 7 or just played Game 7. And then the Lightning is in the other. I'm pretty sure I'm right on that.
Let's look it up.
But yeah, so, and we hate the Knights. But it's weird. I'm playing fantasy now. I'm in this league that's like individual defensive player. It's like auction, bidding.
Our buddy Tyler, who will be on here sooner than later, he got you in it. It's his league or Kevin's league?
Yeah, it's his league and his buddy, Kevin.
I know we're not supposed to say people's last name.
Well,
I'm
I'm the Whiskey
Kevin,
Bros. We're bad about it.
Yeah.
I need to practice. I've been practicing.
Conference Finals is today. Lightning and Islanders are still playing.
Oh, okay.
And Golden Knights and Stars are still playing. Dallas leads 2-1.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I had 2 of the 14. Maybe that's just my prediction. I don't know shit about hockey. Yeah. I like watching the Preds when they were doing well. But
Islanders, Lightning, Golden Knights, Stars are who's still alive. Yeah.
Perfect.
Anyways, I hadn't watched any of it once the Preds played awful, which I sort of thought might happen, but just heard Corbo.
Yeah.
But
hopefully Corbo and Mason's here. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, perfect. So, but anyways, yeah, we're excited about sports. I think we'll probably have some. One thing we definitely are going to do. We've been flying off the cuff, and it's weird because we went up and down with that. Like at the beginning, our very first one, we both had our notes we wanted to follow, and then we were like, man, I just feel too structured and stuck in the structure is sort of how it started to feel really quick to me. And then we sort of just went off the handle, and I've honestly enjoyed just sitting here not having to look at a piece of paper and just going off the cuff. But at the same time, we would like to put some segments in where it's something that y'all can either have some say-so about or
know that it's coming.
Yeah, something that, and then if you have ideas, we don't get comments. Like our buddy TJ from Whiskey Bros has commented a couple times now, but like, let's give some of our ideas just so we can put them out there. We've thought about our main one, and our buddy got to give credit to Tyler for this, but he wants us to do a stop scrolling segment. So what that means is I know myself and probably Tyler too. Tyler's much better at making a decision because he knows what he wants to watch and is prepared before he goes to sit down and watch it most of the time. We're different people. But like when I went to Florida with my other friend Tyler and his wife and my boys, we spent over an hour deciding a movie to watch one night.
Golly,
so
an hour?
Over an hour. And we finally picked one. I think it was terrible. The next night, we all wrote a name down in a cup. 2 movies we wanted to watch in a cup, shook it up, and drew it at dinner, and then that's what we watched. It was awful, Tyler. I'm not even going to say the movies. It's awful, but... anyways, we may start a stop scrolling segment where... I may come with HBO. He comes with a Netflix suggestion, or he has a Netflix and Hulu. I have a HBO and Amazon Prime suggestion.
Let's just do it right now.
Do you already have suggestions you can think of?
Well, I mean, I just have one in general.
Yeah.
And I know you have one.
Yeah, I have one on Netflix for sure.
Yeah, so, and we might do something where we're going to do like the 5 main things that we have, or you might have Netflix, Prime.
I'm gonna look up the main. I'm gonna look up top 3. I think top 3 will keep
3 or 4, and we can have one extra one. So HBO Max, Hulu, Netflix, and then I guess you could do Disney, and you could say some old movies that you just went back and saw was on there or shows. But Disney
that still hold up inside.
Yeah, but Disney is something where I just picking out something to watch with the boys.
Yeah, which they do have some documentaries and cool stuff on there that people may not have seen that you could go watch, like the Imagineering. I'll give you that one right now on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched the Imagineering series on there, you should watch every single bit of that. It is incredible.
Yeah, they go into making like how they made the parks, and even all the way back to the beginning of animatronics and all of that. The Imagineers for sure on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, it goes all the way up to present day.
Yeah, so the top streaming services this is showing is Hulu number 1. Then
best.
Netflix, then Amazon Prime. HBO is on here, Sling is on here, YouTube TV is on here.
I think we should do a Hulu, Netflix, and then a HBO Max, because as soon as you get me on that HBO Max, there's going to be movies that I want to watch.
There's a ton on there, man. It's great. So, that Imagineering wasn't mine. I will give you want me to give mine? You know what my Netflix one is.
Yeah,
probably.
so we might do also something where I might edit some sound in, instead of us hitting here, it's like, stop scrolling, and then we might just do Netflix, and if he has a Netflix or I have a Netflix, and we'll just sprinkle it out, or do it long, whatever y'all might think. I might put a poll out, too, later.
Yeah. Would you rather us give the 3 list all at once, or
just have it break up our conversation at different times?
Yeah, to take us different places. Yeah, that might be a better idea, actually, now that I think about it. But the first thing the thing I've been watching, I wish I could watch more of it, but with kids, you gotta
stop scrolling! Netflix!
With kids, I always gotta pause or stop or fall asleep. But I've been watching Cobra Kai. So, I will be honest, it is cheap. Like, the first season is, from what I've seen, I'm on the 10th episode of the first season. It is pretty cheesy, but, like, if you enjoyed Karate Kid, I don't know anyone that watched Karate Kid that was my age that didn't like Karate Kid.
Right in the alley, bro.
Yeah. So it's like right in our age. That movie was huge. It's actually the generation before us movie. It's theirs. It's came out when they were actually kids.
80s?
But we grew up on it. I would say that movie's probably 84 is going to be my guess.
Look it up real quick while I download. Sorry.
But anyway,
this is how we do it.
So this takes place like 30 years later, after the All Valley tournament, and
30 years after.
I'm not going to dig into it, guys. Just one thing about this is I don't want to give synopsises either. So one thing when I was on the Whiskey Bros, they talked about is they don't like to watch trailers. And I never thought about, well, man, maybe people that listen to us are like, God, they spoil way too much shit. 'Cause we do spoil some shit sometimes, just not even thinking. And I don't.
That's true.
I truly don't care, but at the same time, like, if we're going to give suggestions, I think we should just give it. Go watch it. Go watch the trailer and go watch it if you want to see it. But Cobra Kai, it's pretty good. I'm going to look up Karate Kid and see what year.
You can still maybe talk about
1984. Nailed it.
Nailed it. Yes. So, but I'm going to say this. So, like, Liam has watched a lot of it. I guess he's watching his dad's, and he came back to me, and he talking to me. So now, since we dabble and stuff, anyways, I'm trying to prep them for when we bring them on for 15 minutes apiece or whatever, and let them talk about what they want to talk about. But I just loved how he described it. This doesn't give anything. He's like, no. The guy who kicked the guy with the great crane kick is in charge of this, and then the guy who got kicked by the guy who did the crane kick is in charge of this. And I'm trying to figure out who the hell he's talking about.
This won't ruin anything, but like Johnny has started Cobra Kai back up. Johnny's the blonde-haired guy.
Put him in a body bag,
Daniel LaRusso owns a car dealership and is like well-loved throughout the community, and everyone loves him, and they still don't like each other. That's all I'm going to say. You should watch the show.
Yes. Cool. You should watch the show.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. If you grew up in the 80s or 90s and you haven't, at least, if you're watching the same old Grey's Anatomy or whatever, that's what my wife chooses to watch over and over. Whatever you choose to watch over and over. If you're still watching that, stop scrolling or stop watching the same thing. Go watch Cobra Kai. It's new. It has cool flashbacks to the Karate Kid movies, like when they come to certain things and like they're sort of torn in their mind, like it kicks back to like the lessons that Mr. Miyagi had taught Daniel-san in the Karate Kid movies. So you should definitely watch that, Cobra Kai. Yeah, that's my Netflix.
I noticed it was like #1 on top 10 for so long. My wife likes to watch Vampire Diaries is one of them for it nonstop, and then the other one is like these rich people or something. There are these girls in this town. I can't think of it right now. It's ridiculous. But my Stop Scrolling actually is also a show that you can watch on Hulu because it is Love Island. And it comes on almost every night. But if you like shows like, some people in here might get stuck watching Bachelor or Bachelorette or shows like that with their wife. Like, that just happens sometimes.
Not with me.
It happens with me, man. So I just start watching it. But I like those drama shows sometimes. But if you like a show where it's pretty much just wide open, they have to couple up, and then it's pretty much love triangle after love triangle, and
like
then
they eliminate
each other.
Sorta, but there's a purpose to it.
There's a purpose to it. Basically, it comes on a lot, and it's entertaining, at least for me. They play corny games. But they played one game, just to give you the vibe. I know we still are going to spoil, but they did like a baggage game. Like, I don't know if you ever saw that.
This is different. This is sort of different. Like,
because you have to watch it live.
And this is, I don't know that that's spoiling because what the show you're talking about is not a,
like a series at a time.
It's not a series. It's a reality show.
Reality show. Yeah, so it's my reality because it's the other thing that I'm like hitting record on right now.
Yeah.
Besides AEW wrestling. But so it just, and they like had baggage, and they had to figure out who might have had that baggage, and they were stupid shit. Like I got talked into having sex with 2 married women, and their husbands paid me and shit like that. And they're supposed to be building a relationship. And basically, you vote at the end on which couple you thought was actually the best couple and can last, and they get $100,000. So when these people feel like they're about to get out, they'll just start go flirt with other people's girls and try to take people's girls, and it becomes like love triangles and shit.
Hopefully fist fights.
Nothing like that happened. A lot of the guys are acting like a bunch of sissies on there and like start crying and stuff.
Yeah.
But every one of them are like, typical reality show situation. But it's tolerable for me to watch.
Yeah.
So I've been watching it. I don't really have another stop scrolling because youth sports has came back up for me. So I got practice every single night.
Yeah.
So, and I've been listening to those other podcasts. But you got any more stop scrolling or?
Not really. Not that I can think of. I mean, I'm watching Cobra Kai right now. That's about it. I watch a different movie all the time, you know that. But I'd rather save some things that I have watched to do later because I don't want to give all away all my good stuff that I watch all at once. True. And if we're gonna make it a segment, I need to be able to spread it out a little bit. So
yeah, I'm bad about giving all of it right at the beginning.
No. Let's save some of it. So yeah.
And if you're not watching Big Brother, you need to be watching Big Brother. Well, and then listening to us and watching
this. If you are into any kind of reality television and you're not watching Big Brother, it's one of the originals and still pretty good. It's cringeworthy at times, like I say on just about every one of our Big Brother just dabbling episodes, but it's cringeworthy, but so is most reality television. It's entertaining, so yeah. But yeah, so that's we're gonna have a segment that's gonna be set out where we're prepared and ready. I know we just gave it off the top of our head right there, but that we're obviously gonna be picking sports like we said. I'm trying to think. We've talked about other things. I put some stuff in.
I mean, I'll be honest. I'm getting back into wrestling, and I was on their YouTube last night. I can't remember the guys' names who went live. I know Comic Book Bob is what one of the Twitters were, and then they just had like a live talk, just sitting there talking about wrestling, and they were talking about AEW. But that's really the only one that I keep up with now, as far as wrestling go. But I know that a lot of people like wrestling, like a lot of the other stuff we talk about. So we could always do just a AEW quick little recap. Because we normally record after Wednesdays.
Call Tyler Myers every time?
We could. And have us a little speaker, and we can just be like, all right, it's time to call Tyler. We're going to talk a little AEW wrestling for 10 or 15 minutes and see if he'll agree to do it.
So, yeah, so we've already sort of done the tinfoil hat. I think we'll continue to do that. And we're going to have a Down the Rabbit Hole episode coming hopefully real soon.
Yep, I'm hoping to be Allison.
But you usually bring the tinfoil. I actually brought the tinfoil today.
Okay.
For you.
Let me put it on.
Yeah. So I was listening to... I'm trying to remember. I don't want to screw it up because Joe did 3 last episodes in this California...
Do you want to go ahead and talk about that, or is this going to lead into your tinfoil hat?
It'll lead into my tinfoil hat because it came from a conversation he had. I got to pull.
How many does he have in Texas now? And he lives in Austin, Texas now.
Yeah, he's moved to Austin, Texas. I believe he's done 4.
Is Jamie? Because see, now the roles have flopped because now you've been listening to Joe Rogan more, and I haven't gotten to yet. But now that I got my new phone, I can have all the apps, so I'm just gonna get.
So he did 1, 2, 3. He did 3 last ones at his California studio, which was Duncan Trussell, which is where the question I'm about to ask you came from, that podcast. Then he did Miley Cyrus, which was great. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to that yet or not. He did Mike Tyson, which was great. Mike Tyson was on 1,000 the entire time.
And it was good.
Oh, he had me laughing hilariously. Or he had me laughing uncontrollably. It was so funny. His first episode in Texas was Adam Curry, who was the guy that had the first podcast ever. Ron White was the next one and the new one, and then Tim Kennedy, who was the UFC fighter, also Special Forces.
Is Jamie moved with him?
Mm-hmm.
So they both moved together.
I'm sure he moved Jamie, but yeah. Jamie.
Not to get off topic, but I do still listen to Theo Vaughn, just because I love Theo Vaughn, and he's now moved to Nashville. So a lot of people from LA have just moved out of there. I think they're still on lockdown.
Joey Coco Diaz is back in Jersey. He took off too.
I think they're still on lockdown. That whole state.
Well, that whole group of comedians they're all gone. It was like a comedian. Joe hates it because the store's going to close down. I mean, I think he realized it doesn't matter if I come back and do 10 shows there. They're not going to be able to recover. California has kept him shut down for so long. It's bad. But anyways, on the podcast with Duncan Trussell, which Duncan Trussell did the TV show with Joe. Joe Rogan questions everything. He's a conspiracy guy too, and
he has a new show called The Midnight Gospel.
Duncan does?
Yes, that he does with Adventure Time creator Pendleton Ward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they talked about that.
Yeah, and it's like this show apparently like pushes some different things. It's supposed to be real funny. I haven't watched it, but they were talking about it.
That sounds great. I'm going to have to add that to my list.
You need to. Midnight Gospel, for sure. Everyone, like all those comedians were talking about it, and I think there's like some underlining things, and like you can hear. I don't have
his
the show
main
pulled up, but it
podcast
has,
is called
like,
the Duncan Trussell Family Hour, it looks like.
Yeah, that's his main podcast. But it's like opening up your mind, like the Midnight Gospel, and it's Adventure Time. And so it's that kind of adult cartoon. So Midnight Gospel.
Interesting. But anyway, so when he had Duncan Trussell on there, they got talking about like thoughts and ideas and like and we've had this conversation before, me and you, like outside of here, and it's like they were talking about like where thoughts and ideas come from, and Joe just said something sort of, they didn't really dig into it, but I would like to just sort of off the cuff, that he said he has thought for a long time that thoughts and ideas were alien, like as far as like they are, thoughts and ideas are, I wish he would have went more into it and what he meant, but I want to just present it to you like he said it. I should have saved the soundbite, and I'll go back and find it and send it to you, and maybe we can talk more about it when we're not on here. But he feels that thoughts, like ideas, like Steven Spielberg's ideas for this movie, or J.R.R. Tolkien when he wrote The Hobbit and all that stuff, and those ideas, like where did those come from? Where does imagination come from? Where does original ideas come from? Like, are they alien? What do you feel about that?
So I typed thoughts into my notes because I used to listen, JRE, and he had a guy on there named Daniel Huberman, who was a neuroscientist, which he obviously respects and probably read his book. So this is probably something that he's just synthesized together. But he says the brain is in control of 5 things: sensation, perception, emotions, thoughts, and action. And how he defined thoughts was they arise spontaneously. But I'm going to bring that up with what I've been teaching in class. We also used to think that steak spontaneously generated into flies. Yeah. Because we couldn't see that microscopic world, so we didn't know that. So as our technology gets better, and there's people out there that say in these ancient civilizations, which is also tinfoil hat kind of, that these technologies is like a roller coaster. So there was technology very, very precise as consciousness as a whole goes up. They say those temples, every step represents the human consciousness taking a level above and going higher and higher and higher to this higher level of thinking. So you could be in this level of consciousness without even knowing you're there and be getting thoughts from somewhere. It goes back to that one day when we were talking.
You're exactly where.
Exactly.
That's my question. Where?
So then this is crazy because I'm down here and it says first episode. And I don't know what this means. The first thing I have is Bible has stood longer than stone, buildings, and empires. This might have been, I don't know what this is. But it says thoughts appear in your head from where? So it was obviously a question that I had on June 24th.
Let's see when I put this in there. This was recent.
2020. Dreams or storytelling. I don't know where this came from.
Yeah, September 2nd is when I put it in there. So yeah, right when Duncan Trussell was on.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. So that's what I had about thoughts. And then also I know that you have these thoughts that are 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day, and most of them are repetitive thoughts. So, but can you control those thoughts? Where does it come from? Like, it's truly, I tell people this all the time, you can only learn as much as you know. So like, you usually attach things to things that you already know. That's how you remember them. That's how you associate. That's what makes you a good teacher of things sometimes, is I know you know this, so I'm going to make this information that I know relate to that. Yeah. And that's
I guess the way I presented the question was in the present. The way I'm trying to present it to you is in the origin of thought, and that's why I use J.R.R. Tolkien, because he's an old writer. Like the first person to write a story about aliens. Where did that thought come from? The first person to write about a giant spaceship coming down from Earth years and years and years before NASA or spaceships were even a thing. Where did that thought come from?
Yeah, I agree on all this. It's like those sci-fi movies that you see. It's like, oh, well, they do these babies and whatever. And You know, like even the movie Gattaca, like I'm sure when he was writing that movie, it wasn't necessarily possible to do designer babies and things like that. It's actually probably possible now and isn't done.
Definitely possible now.
So, yeah, the tinfoil hat, there's lots of tinfoil hat answers, I guess.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I'm just curious what you thought. Is it so let me give you my train of thought real quick, and then maybe it'll spur something in you. But I'm wondering, like,
that question I had, was from Peterson, who's another big time podcaster. Jordan Peterson. Yeah. His first episode on religious lectures.
Oh, okay.
Where did thoughts come from?
Okay. And you can look at it from the religious side. I'm stepping out of the religious thought process and really into the tinfoil crazy thinking process.
Yeah, but I'll be honest with you. I don't mean to cut you off, man, but the more and more I've gone down the tinfoil hat, the word conspirituality actually happens. It always comes back to something spiritual.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily mean like it comes back to God. It comes back to higher consciousness, higher energy beings, ancient things.
Yeah, and that was sort of where I was sort of where I was going to step out of that. And I guess it does bring it right back to it, because those stories of things coming from the sky and whatnot, how do we not know that they weren't? We don't know. This book was written over a long. I took this picture. You'll enjoy this. I'll let you just look at it, or I'll let you read it. Well, I'll read it and then I'll show you the picture. It says, "This might be the most amazing data." It's all tying in. I just took this and didn't even expect to talk about this, but this might be the most amazing data picture you've seen in a lifetime. I'll let you look at it while I read it. It shows the 63,779 cross references in the Bible. The white bars along the bottom represent each Bible chapter, Genesis 1 through Revelation 22. The line's colors show the reference distances from the other. A cross-reference is a scripture that references another scripture. Had the Bible been written by one person or at one time, this would still be amazing. However, the Bible was written by 40 authors over the span of 1,500 years on 3 different continents. The Bible is complex, diverse, and intricate, and yet it has one unified message. God lovingly is redeeming all who believe. Anyways.
The Bible isn't a very complex book.
I read that just to say that. So if it was written over 1,500 years, there's a lot of stuff that happened that might have been interpreted or that are completely different. And that's where those thoughts come from, is people had already seen this stuff. People do already, I haven't read anything, like when COVID was at its peak craziness, the Pentagon put out this thing that they may or may not have vehicles from another that weren't produced here on Earth. And then it went silent right after that. And it's almost like they put it out there like, hey, let's try to change their attention, but everyone was still in pure panic mode. So.
Or it's preemptive thinking, making it okay. That's what a lot of people think. Like they put it in sci-fi movies. They put sci-fi movies in because we've all just accepted. It's a lot easier to believe aliens are true because we've seen them in all these movies or whatever. Yeah. So it's like this preemptive, it's like scaffolding almost as a teacher. So if you're like, yeah, we're talking about something else, but I'm mentioning ATP, and then eventually you're going to have to know how this whole thing fits together. Yeah. There's that concept, but it still makes you think that there's something more conscious that's controlling everyone, because you can't just have a creative idea out of nowhere. But a biological tinfoil hat, which is technically spiritual as well, water runs through you and I.
Yeah. We're what, 90%?
70% water.
70% water?
Water is in a cycle. While that water is making our biochemistry happen, I like to say water remembers things. Because have you ever seen, there's a video out there where water goes over honey, and then eventually it makes a honeycomb shape, and the water goes over it? So like water has memory, so to speak. So technically, anything that's ever happened on this planet and hasn't happened on this planet is in you at some point in time.
Yeah.
Your great-great-great-granddad's piss could be in you right now, letting your biochemistry work. The same exact technical concept. And as I've been reading the Bible in very complex manner.
I don't know if piss was the best.
I understand
what you mean.
But it's like the water gets broken up and put back together. But that's the physics that we live in.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to think about it like that, man. Because water has memory. You hear people say all the time. But when I'm reading the Bible, where all these towns happen, and it makes sense because you have to have it to live when you think about this. But every time there's a new place that's about to be a town or some location, because when I read it, 1,500 years is a large span. What does location mean? Mm-hmm. Because location is whatever I've been taught it to mean. But as he goes through the steps, it could be time locations. It could be whatever. It's very abstract. There's a well every single time. Oh, there's a well there. Here comes the city. It's just like, and that's memory, and that's, well, it was here. So that's just another just biological crazy thing. But golly, I was listening to these people talk about that we live in a simulation, and it's
crazy.
very spiritual as well in that aspect. I definitely think that there's levels of energies and levels of consciousness, and like Jesus is, I think, was someone who was a higher level of consciousness than a normal person, or this being and that things like that, and like there's a connection to this greater consciousness, and that greater consciousness could be a server for all we know, and Jesus was the URL that we typed in, and this is just how it's being portrayed to us this time.
So I don't want this to sound like I'm comparing to this person to Jesus at all, but like, would you consider David Blaine someone that's probably like on a higher energy?
Yeah,
he can do some crazy shit.
Yeah, he can control his physical body with his mental mind, like, or it's just an incredible camera and action or something.
He was on Joe live, and I mean, Joe shoved a freaking ice pick through this dude's bicep, like right there, and it was pretty real, man. Like, and I think Joe thought it was an illusion too until he started doing it. He seemed gross the fuck out, dude.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that one, dude.
Yeah, I can't believe you haven't watched it yet. It's incredible. I've gotten a couple people to watch it. They all loved it. Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's a good one. I know you don't like to go back and watch it, but that's one you should.
I know.
You missed him going up in the air on the balloons too, David Blaine. He's a psychopath.
Yeah, I know he's a psychopath.
Yeah.
He is but there's other people out there.
But he held his breath for 20 minutes underwater one time, so.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that that's possible. It has to be someone who has been training, and there's no telling how long he's been training.
He's got an entire TED Talk on it.
For a long time,
yeah,
he's
for
been
his breath
training
holding.
for that.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just do that.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I've listened to those people who talk about, there's people out there who, like, reset their brain without using LSD drugs, and there's this breathing techniques out there where you can, like, for, like, 3 hours straight, and you'll, like, start tripping.
Sure.
It's crazy.
I'm not trying to do that.
You have, like, a coach there with you, like, helping you deal with your mental illness and stuff.
17 minutes is how long he held his breath, by the way, not 20.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
That's still a long-ass time.
Yeah, it is.
I'm sending you the TED Talk right now that you can receive links and stuff on your brand new iPhone 8.
Yeah, I can have anything now. I recorded my first 30-second video the other day. I was like, man, Lake's running around the soccer field. I'm about to shoot a video, 30 seconds.
Yeah, let me go in my saves real quick, because I know I saved some stuff.
Here we go. Fast 70-second using breath to mimic effects of LSD. 3 hours. You have to breathe like that, and you'll start hallucinating. And they're saying that it somehow tricks your brain into dying and brings indigenous DMT to the forefront, and you have a trip.
Interesting.
This is like a doctor. Obviously, he was on Armchair Expert, so I mean, he's...
That sounds crazy.
Winhoff Method is what it's called. WHINHOFF.
Interesting.
Very much.
Awesome. Well,
it's crazy. So, do you want to tell some of the books that you've been reading, man?
I can, yeah. To close up the tinfoil hat, we don't know what the fuck we're talking about. The end.
Oh yeah, that's why it's like you always said. It's fun to talk about, but I'm not sure if I believe any of it.
Yeah.
And we've been saying it for a while, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen very soon. We're gonna be talking about some. Hopefully it doesn't mess us all up on YouTube. Shadow banned on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll see. We're just going to dive into some stuff that I think could be good conversation with one of our buddies who is deep off in all of it. And, I'm sure we'll preface that one before we start with, we have no idea what we're talking about. We do not represent anybody but ourselves. All that good stuff. So, yeah, that's probably coming. Just be ready for that. Let me go to there's a way I can look on.
So now you've been pretty much Joe and Libby app books, or have you been going back and forth?
I've pretty much been listening to Joe Rogan podcast and whatever book I listen to at work. I listen to Joe to and from work, and when I'm at work, I listen to a book. Just because, like, sometimes they talk about stuff on Joe that I don't want being blared over the speaker while I'm driving around at work.
That's true. I'll tell you a book that I'm reading right now that I went and got. I forgot that it was even came out. We talked about the Hunger Games multiple times on here. I think the second book of the Hunger Games is one of the...
Is it the prequel?
Yes.
Prequel book?
It's about snow.
Yeah.
So
I've got it in my holds right now on my audio.
I have the real book at my house.
I gotta listen to it.
Dude, I'm at the beginning of it, of course, and I get stuck where I don't read it. But it's about snow. It basically is... He lives in the capital, so before... I'm just going to give like the brief synopsis real quick. So like before, the Hunger Games already happened, so it's the 10th Hunger Games that is coming up. So before there was a champion in every district or whatever, he's like on the track to be, like he's one of the smartest in the class and stuff, and they put him on track. So they are actually the mentors. So they're like final college or final high school project is to mentor whoever gets picked in the reaping. And he gets a District 12 female, which at the time is the worst person you can get because you want to win. You want to coach them up and win, and I guess it puts you in position. So he gets the. You can. I mean, that's as far as I've got.
Yeah,
that's as far as I've got. So he basically, I don't even know her name. So he just got chosen to be the 12th district's females coach, basically.
Yeah.
Snow did. So it's pretty. If I read another chapter, it'll be done in probably 2 days because I'll never stop reading it.
All right, so I won't go too deep into my books, but I'll just tell you, like, if you like books and you've got the time to listen to them, like, I'm telling you can burn through books real quick. Which I work 10-hour days, so I usually try to pick books that are 10 to 12 hours, and I can finish them in 2 days every time. Because obviously got to pause and stuff when people talk to me. So I'm going to go through the list. I'm not really going to talk deeply on any of them. You can, if you want to hear more about them, you can. But
okay.
So I listened to Sapiens on there, was the first book I listened to. That Yuval Noah Harari. It's a brief history of humankind.
That just basically goes through that there's more species than what we have, right? And kind of
literally goes through the entire history of humankind to like right now.
Just fossil record and theory.
A lot of different stuff.
Yeah, I've read some of that too. Because you gave me that book as well.
So then Ready Player One, I've already talked about. Yeah. Let's see.
What's the name of this app? The Libby app.
Libby.
And now I got my new phone. I feel limitless.
Yeah.
You know that movie?
No.
You don't know the movie Limitless, where he takes the pill?
Oh yeah. I thought you were trying to tell me. I thought you were trying to tell me a quote. Yeah, I've seen the movie Limitless with dude from The Hangover in it.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds.
Brian Reynolds played basketball for you, bro.
His name is something like that, bro.
No, it's not.
I was thinking of Ryan Reynolds, but that's
Bradley
not him.
Cooper.
Bradley Cooper, that's right. I was thinking of Ryan Reynolds and Bradley.
Yeah. So anyway, then I listened to The Lost Symbol, which is the third book after Angels and Demons.
The Lost Symbol.
Da Vinci Code, Angels and Demons, then The Lost Symbol. I started the first Game of Thrones book, and dude, like I had to just stop it.
Why? Wasn't any good?
Just not picking my. They were just saying so many names and houses and this and that and the other at the beginning of the book. I could not keep up with it, and I just had to stop.
So it was just basically like the beginning, kind of like the show at first when everyone was complaining about the show, them having to name everyone and trying to keep up with everyone.
Mm-hmm. So now I listen to Inferno, which is the fourth book in the Da Vinci Code, all those. So I've listened to that whole series.
Who's that author?
Dan Brown.
Dan Brown, that's
right.
Yeah.
He knows a bunch of shit about symbology and all types of cool shit. It's awesome. Lone Survivor, The Wolf of Wall Street.
What was Lone Survivor?
Lone Survivor is about I'll pull it up. Marcus Luttrell, the one guy who was part of the SEAL group. They pretty much screwed themselves. They captured these people, ended up not killing them, letting them go. They told like the entire city, hey, we've got a group of them, and they're stuck on this hill, and they pretty much got surrounded. The movie had Mark Wahlberg in it and a bunch of people, but it's about Marcus Luttrell. He's still alive to this day. He was the only person that lived out of the entire thing. It was also when the big helicopter, remember when the helicopter full of SEALs went down? Those SEALs were going to rescue these guys and got shot down, and like a bunch of SEALs died, and that whole thing. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, that was the Iraq War. The Eyewitness Account of Operation Red Wing and the Lost Heroes of SEAL Team 10, Marcus Luttrell. Yeah, it was an awesome book. Sad as shit. I also watched the movie years ago, but the book was much better. Wolf of Wall Street, one of the craziest books I've ever listened to or heard in my life. Jordan Belfort's one of the craziest human beings to ever live.
I love the movie with
Leonardo DiCaprio
and I don't know who the guy's
Jonah Hill. Jonah Hill.
Oh yeah,
the fat dude from Superbad is who you're talking about. His partner. Yeah, yes. Jonah Hill.
And then Christian McCaffrey. I'm just kidding. Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, he's at the beginning. He's like,
but he's real skinny because I think he was getting ready for that.
He had just
Dallas Buyers Club.
just filmed Dallas. He was like on the recovery from Dallas Buyers Club.
You haven't seen? That's a good movie.
Yeah, I think you've mentioned that on here before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I did The Wolf of Wall Street. Then I did Foxcatcher.
Yep. That's a creepy movie.
Which is about John DuPont who killed Dave Schultz. Mark Schultz, his brother, is the one who wrote the book, and then it was turned into a movie where,
Steve Carell
plays John DuPont. Hulk plays Dave, and then say Hulk. What's his name? Mark Ruffalo plays Dave Schultz, and then Mark Schultz is played by Channing Tatum. Then I read the Pistol Pete book, which I say I read it. I listened to it. You should. I suggest. It's not his personal book, but
he was a bad man. I know we
Yeah.
kind of already talked about it at the pool,
Yeah.
but like, you know, just his skill level.
If there would have been a 3-point line and they would have been allowed to dunk when he first started playing, man, he would have been one of the most unreal basketball players to ever play. He already was. He became alcoholic and stuff, and became like really addicted to many things. He was obsessive about things. Obviously, that's why he was so good at basketball. But he has a great story, great testimony, and everything. Like, died early, but had found God, and was actually playing basketball with James Dobson. I don't know if you know who that is. His name's Dr. James Dobson. He back when I was a kid, it was called God dang, James Dobson. What did he make? Something for the family. That it was like a Christian-based like VHS series, and he also had a book that came out. James Dobson. He was playing basketball with him, like about to do a thing when he died on the basketball court.
Crazy.
But anyways, very crazy.
Yeah.
I have Michael Jordan's book on hold right now. Not ready. The next one I read was Unbroken. I'll read the synopsis on it too. 'Cause it's incredible.
What's it about?
About a POW in World War II. Zamparelli's the guy's last name. I can't think of his freaking first name right now. He was an Olympic runner, long distance runner, ran the 1500. White guy. When World War II came, he went to war. Was a bomber. He was like the guy that was in the bottom of those bomber planes that would open the freaking hatch on the bottom of those planes and drop the bombs in World War II. Their plane went down in the ocean. He was on a raft with 2 other guys for like 3 months. He's the longest, I think still to this day, longest raft survivor of all time. There's a movie Angelina Jolie made, and you probably remember it. Like the trailer ended with him like holding a big piece of wood above his head. He's like a real skinny white POW. But he ends up in these like multiple Japanese prisoner of war camps because they realize who he is. He's a famous Olympian like runner.
Oh, yeah.
So that's sort of how he lives. Is one of the guys that was over the POWs was a huge fan of his and was like sort of keeping the main guy from killing him. He was close to death a lot of times, but it makes you feel like a huge pussy, dude. Like when I'm waking up in the morning, it's like, God, I don't feel like going to work. And then I remember that guy. It's like, going to work ain't shit. Going to work ain't shit. I need to get up and get out of the freaking bed. But
and you've been pounding through those books.
So
man.
I read Seal Warrior, which was about a Navy SEAL in Vietnam. It's called Seal Warrior, really good. I have Extreme Ownership, which is Jocko Willink's like real famous book. It's on hold. Haven't got to read it yet. I just finished American Sniper about Chris Kyle.
I never saw the movie.
Crazy. The Reaper I read also. He was the first black special forces sniper. He was in Afghanistan and Iraq also. Incredible book. And right now I'm listening to The Blind Side. So yeah, I've been burning through them. I really have. I got on a war book kick, man. After I was it Unbroken? Was that the first one I read that got me hooked? I think it was. Yeah, I listened to Unbroken, and then I went from Unbroken to Seal Warrior to American Sniper to The Reaper, and now I'm listening to The Blind Side, which is the Michael Oher story. But it goes like in depth, like what was happening in football that made the left tackle position so important and all that stuff. So it's an awesome book. I'm at like 50.
They just mention it in the movie because Lawrence Taylor. It's like at the very
beginning,
scene,
correct? And the book opens the same exact way. Let's see where I'm at in it. I am shelf. So I'm at 53% of The Blind Side right now. So it's great, dude. It's been awesome. Like Michael Oher was a dumb human being, but his physical, his ability to read and comprehend did not exist.
Illiterate.
Pretty much. If someone read like the questions to him and that, he would learn it immediately. If he watched video of someone doing stuff, I didn't realize this about him. He was an incredible discus thrower. Like has the Tennessee State record for discus throw.
Really?
Yeah, Michael Oher. Incredible. Had never been taught how to spin. His coach shows up one day and he had like went home and saw a video at the Tui's house of someone like throwing a discus and learned how to spin and was doing all the footwork and stuff without being coached on his own. He was like 320 pounds, 6'7" or 6'8", and was very fast apparently when he was in high school, just dominating. Because at Briarcrest in Memphis, and he went to school in Tennessee. So they're talking about like Notre Dame and Memphis Milrose and all these schools that our school played. So it's a pretty cool book. It's sweet.
It is cool. Would you ever consider, this has just been out lately, I think the trailer came out or something, or maybe it came out even before, but for some reason it's been brought up to me lately, or maybe it's already out, the movie Dune. Is it already out?
100%. The trailer. Have you watched the trailer?
No, I was saying we should watch it right now.
Yeah.
And I'll put a link to it.
I sent it to my dad, but I have not watched it. I've been sending him the screenshots and shit as it comes.
You want to watch it right now?
Dune, so there was already a Dune movie before. And Dune is also a book series. So that is the original. No, go back.
Oh, yeah.
That's the original Dune with Kyle MacLachlan and I can't remember what. My dad watched that movie all the time.
Virginia Madsen.
Kyle MacLachlan played the main guy, right? Dude from Flintstones.
Yes, he is from Flintstones. The Halle Berry's boss.
He's young in Dune. He plays the main dude in Dune.
I've never seen it.
You already got the trailer on your phone?
I have it right. I think I can play it right now.
Let's watch it. So I sent it to my dad. I have not watched it. The cast is great. Read the cast first before we watch the trailer.
So my question is, should I go and watch the old Dune before this?
I think I'm going to too, because I've only seen bits and pieces of it. Watching it with my dad coming up. There's a whole book series, dude. A guy that was in public speaking with me at Ball State gave a whole speech or whatever he did on the book series Dune one time, and it sounded incredible the way he gave the.
They were talking about it in one of the groups that I'm in or whatever, because they were talking about reading it, and they said the first book is 30 hours. So that's how I was like,
I've got it. I have it on my hold right now.
You did have it on there? Yeah, perfect.
I didn't show you that because I didn't know you were about to bring that up, and I didn't even know if you knew what it was. But yeah,
I don't really know what it is, so I'm about to watch the trailer.
I sent it to my dad. Let's see, where's my dad at?
Zendaya is a girl named Chaney. Rebecca Ferguson.
So I sent it to my dad on Wednesday, the trailer. He said, that looks good. And then he sent it to me again. He said, that looks good. And then said, okay, thanks. Dune looks like it's going to be good in all capital letters. So yeah, we got to watch it. I have not watched it. So I'm ready.
Right, we'll watch it together. If I have to mute it, if it gives us a thing, then I will. But Timothée Chalamet.
He's playing the main guy.
Yeah, Jason Momoa. Josh Brolin.
Josh Brolin right here. Same guy.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Dang, he's been acting for a long time.
Yeah.
Dave Bautista.
Brand, the Goonies. Yes.
Dave Bautista.
Yep.
Oscar Isaac.
You know who that is?
Let me look. Hold on.
Don't click on him.
I'm not gonna click on him. Antonio Banderas.
Poe Dameron.
I'm just kidding. That is Poe Dameron.
Yeah, Poe Dameron. He also played the king in the Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. He plays the young guy that becomes king in that also.
Yeah, that is him. Stellan Skarsgård.
And then
I know who is
Javier Bardem. That's the bad guy from No Country for Old Men, and he's also in the bad guy in which James Bond with Daniel Craig. I can't remember which one. One of those we talked about. Javier Bardem. He's a crazy son of a bitch. So yeah, let's watch the trailer real quick, and we'll post the link. Hopefully Tyler can pop up the link on the screen or the card as we watch it. Yeah. So
all right, let's watch it. Dude, I've learned after listening to other podcasts too, like, it's fine just us listening.
Yeah, of course, yes. Mike Tyson and Joe had so much dead air.
It's reversing the flow of time.
Dude, I wanted to go see that today. I almost asked you if you wanted to do that instead of recording.
Go watch Tenet?
Yeah.
We should. Maybe we should just do one weird review episode out of nowhere and just review Tenet.
We could.
Come up with a clever name. Clever girl.
So I didn't know that Christopher Nolan's brother writes the movies and Christopher Nolan makes the movies.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
There's something waving in my mind. I can't control it. What did you see?
So this is post-apocalyptic time, I guess?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Do you often dream
Visually,
things
it looks
that happen
incredible.
just
So
as you
far.
dreamed them? Yes.
Wow.
The test is simple. Remove your hand from the box. And you die. What's in the box? Pain. You inherit too much power. You have proven you can rule yourself. Now you must learn to rule others. Something none of your ancestors learned.
It's like,
We need to watch the original together.
yeah, we do. It's like it's almost old, but there's like technology super fast.
It looks incredible.
Getting a richer one. You lose that one too.
Is he like a? See, I just don't know.
I'm gonna read the synopsis or let you read it after we watch this.
Arrakis is a death trap.
There he is.
There he is, David Bautista.
This is an extermination. They're picking my family off one by one. Let's fight like demons.
Yeah, I love him, dude. That's why he's married.
Wow, look at that visual.
Jason Momoa is married to Lenny Kravitz's ex-wife.
The old woman.
He is Zoe Kravitz's stepdad, Jason Momoa.
Really?
Crazy.
This looks good to me, man.
Yeah, visually it looks incredible, dude. I don't know what the story is, but I could care less. Looks like something I want to see on the big screen.
Yep, me too. Good cast. Holy shit.
There was these big sandworms in the old one.
That's what that looked like right there. It's kind of like the third Riddick feel a little bit, but a lot.
See, so this is one of the movies my dad would watch as a kid. It would be on, but I would never be paying attention to what was happening. This looks pretty badass, dude. Yeah.
Oh, look, it's like gold.
Well, I think sand is like very, is like the currency or something. Something does. Or spice. Spice is the currency, I believe. Yeah.
That reminds me of another Kevin Bacon movie.
I just said it. Big sandworms. Look how big these look like they're going to be.
Holy shit. This is Tremors on another level.
Yeah, dude. Holy shit. Oh, it's terrifying. Yes, sir.
Man.
Read the synopsis real quick.
Alright.
We're probably pretty close, aren't we? An hour and 15? That's not a bad time, honestly.
We've been trying to say when it's just me and you, just to let it ride and be around an hour and a half, not too long. Feature. I don't know.
It should be at the top.
Is this the top?
Hold on.
Dude, I'm new to the app.
Yeah, I know you are. I'm going to show you how to do it. So once you type in DUNE, right there, that's what you want to read.
Just the top or
Yeah,
all that? Okay.
that's what I'll read. The top.
Feature adaptation of Frank Herbert's science fiction novel about the son of a noble family entrusted with the protection of the most valuable asset and most vital element in the galaxy.
Which is some sort of spice, I believe. If I remember
It says it right here. Sorry, I'm reading down here. It says the spice, a drug which extends human life and provides accelerated levels of thought.
I knew it was something like that. So yeah, keep being reminded also, I know we're talking about Dune, but back to Tenet. The black guy in Tenet is Denzel Washington's son. I keep forgetting, and then I watch the trailer and it's like, man, that dude looks familiar. And it's like, I know who he is. It surprises me every time. I don't know why. My buddy Mike said it was absolutely incredible. He wanted to go see it with me again Monday after he had seen it last weekend, but I couldn't pull it off. So I don't know. Tuesday was Cannon's birthday, so we're gonna take him to one of the trampoline places and do that type of stuff. And
That'll be fun.
I don't know. We got to see Tenet before it's out of theaters, though. That's a fact.
I agree. Where we at?
Yeah,
117, dude. I think that's plenty.
It's perfect, man. That was good. We covered a lot of stuff to only go for an hour and 17 minutes. I feel so.
Yep, and we got. I think our little trial of things and our new things are coming out. But Dabbling Dads, type it in. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. We're gonna hopefully. I'll be joining up with the Whiskey Bros in a couple weeks, which will be great.
Be on the lookout for a competition between the Whiskey Bros and us Dabbling Dads. We're going to try and get a cornhole tournament. I'd like to do it between then. I don't know if we're going to be able to make that work. That'd be sick if we could.
It would be sick.
That way you could show up with a belt or whatever we have that the winner has to their podcast, because they're going to stomp their ass.
That's right.
But anyways, it's a good time, bud. I don't got nothing else.
Either, man. See y'all later.
Peace.
Bye.